What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenartz, subprime hero.
And we are excited to be brewing solutions in the Car Guy Cafe on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast, having fun here in Kentucky in our home base with a very limited edition brew with this incredible Solutionary that's right here with us. We have the one,
the only Charles Martin.
Welcome to the show, brother, and welcome to the cafe.
It is nice to have somebody in here live and in charge. I'm excited to have you on the show, brother. We're going to get this thing going. This is the five-liner, folks, and you guys know what it's all about. But before we get the five-liner going, let's have a little conversation. Let's talk a little bit about you. What do you currently do in automotive and where you're at? I know like a lot of times we get right into those questions, but I think I'm going to start with this so people can get a little idea of who this amazing Solutionary is.
So Charles Martin at L2T Media. We're a digital marketing agency strictly for automotive and power sports. And I'm a strategic account manager is my role. But in that, I do sales strategy and a bit of account management in directing some of the smallest and largest dealer groups in the country across several different OEMs.
Wow.
And we are always trying to put together, the most cutting edge marketing strategies. The game's like a puzzle to me, and, I like to win. So.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly my sentiment in a lot of things. I always tell people, even when I was doing finance, I would look at Dealertrack, and look at the funding, and I'd want everything to be green. It means it's booked or whatever. It was like a video game to me to clear it up, like Tetris, making sure I stack it all up and it was done. So yeah, everything is, to me, there's a way to win something if you strategize just right. And strategizing with people like you inside your business can make all the difference. And that's why we have Charles on the show today, because I really see what you're doing out there. Your energy is extremely positive, man. Every time I've met you or saw you in person, you always go out of your way to come say hello, give us a handshake, give us some love. And we always respect the same way and give it back to you, man. We appreciate you more than you know. We're excited to have you here. Yeah. He's from Kentucky, my friends. We know somebody's from Kentucky that's going to be on the show. We've had a few people, like 4 or 5 people, I think, come here inside the cafe and do this with us.
Up on the board.
Yeah, and I'm going to have him sign. I got his pen ready to go for when he's done right here. So when he's done, he's going to get up there and, get that paint pen and write down his signature too, because it's nice to have people here. We started the show before COVID and we thought, we're going to have a lot of interviews in person. And then COVID happened. And then we realized virtual was the way to go during that time. And it just kind of took over, right? And that's the way we did everything. So we keep doing it that way. And it's like, all right, cool. Let's just keep growing. But to have people here, it feels good, man. I'm excited to have you here, especially because you are from Kentucky. He's talking about Derby. He's talking about what he's going to be doing for the Derby festivities this weekend, my friends. And if you're watching the Derby or if you're coming into town, you should reach out to one of us. We're all going to be here. Well, no, Lou actually is going to be in Florida this weekend. That's going to be amazing.
I'll definitely be down there in Florida this weekend enjoying the introduction of my grandbabies to my father. Excited about that.
Incredible.
That is incredible.
That's going to be a great time. And there's a lot that's brewing here in Kentucky. And it's awesome that this week, during the actual Derby week, we get the chance to talk to another thoroughbred from here in Kentucky about brewing solutions and about making the industry better. Before we got set into the studio to have this conversation, we're talking about the passions that we each have to see this industry go to the next level. And it's really refreshing when we get the chance to be around other people. And where we have done so many interviews virtual inside of the studio with people far away, we do love it when we go to these events and we get to hook up to people like you and other people in the industry that are making things happen. And the last one that we were at together was here inside of Kentucky, was with David Kane. Shout out to you, David Kane, and everybody over there making things happen. What was that event like for you in the culmination?
Oh, it was incredible. David always and his team throw an incredible event. It's always fun to get to meet people. The collaboration, like we've just been talking about in automotive, is more of a recent thing, but it's always been a thing that David is instilled in the community. So everybody that you meet, I've had so many follow-ups and, hey, let's link up. How can we do business together? How can we help our clients out? And that is what I love most about it. Other than being obviously in my home state. So
right. Makes it easy. Well, awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and get this party started.
Let's do it.
But we got to get anything in here. We got to go ahead and tag a car guy,
tag a car gal,
and share. Get the word out, everybody. Get them inside of the cafe today, because we got a very special brew for
But
you.
man,
And we are excited for another 5-liner. And there's other 5-liners coming up soon. But today we are pumped up and so thankful for all of our sponsors that support the show. Thank you so much for making sure that this word of encouragement goes out to the industry. But let's go ahead and get this 5-liner rocking.
but before we do,
gotta do it. We gotta
drop
drop some
F-bomb.
F-bombs,
We gotta drop
baby.
F-bombs before we do
Drop
anything,
some
man.
F-bombs.
It's been a minute
You
since
know
we've done a
those F-bombs,
5-liner.
right?
Well, the F-bombs, they don't offend the moms,
That's
right?
right.
And these are important F-bombs. These F-bombs are what helps you keep growing. And the first one is to forgive. We have to forgive. We have to let go of the weight of unforgiveness on our shoulders so we can actually lift up, man. When you have too much weight, it's like having too much luggage on an aircraft. They're going to say, that's too much. We can't have it. We have too much on here. We're going to have to take some of us out of here to be able to take off, right? Whatever it is, we're going to make sure that we let that all go so our hands can be free. And once your hands are free, you can get focused. And once you're focused, folks, you all know how dangerous you could be. And when you're doing it, you just reach out and you just keep flying and flying, right? And we're going to do it together on the count of 3, my friends. Hands on your shoulders. Count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Focus. And keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Damn, there we go. All right. Now we're ready. Now we're ready.
Let's go. Folks, you know, we got to hang out with him just a few weeks ago, it feels like, right? And we got to spend some time, and it was just a few weeks ago. We got to spend some time with them, but we never got the chance to get the interview in, and that was something that we wanted to do. And that would have only been a 10-15-minute exclusive, but now you get this almost an hour. Yeah, this is a 5-liner where we get to ask you 5 questions, and these 5 questions get us to learn a little bit more about the man, the myth, the legend right here, Charles Martin, right? And the very first question we're going to ask you is, what's your why, bro? What drives you? What makes you wake up every single day to come out and be the best that you can, to be leading numbers, to do everything that you can possibly be, to be the best version of yourself? What makes you do that?
It's an incredible question, and love to answer it because, my why is really just a internal drive to succeed and help others. Like the old Zig Ziglar quote, you can get everything in life that you want if you help others get what they want. And money's great. We all have families to support and
yes, sir.
Fun, but seeing my dealers and my clients' success is my success. So my why has been able to meet all these incredible people and hear these awesome stories and these connections and lifelong friendships like I made with you guys. Automotive is a big but tight-knit community. And the people that are doing the right thing always gravitate towards each other and find each other and work with each other. So those connections are absolutely, the best part of it. But I just like to win. Growing up in competitive sports background, lots of challenges in life. To me, you got to be, taking on that next challenge. And,
yes, sir.
You can beat the odds, or you can do something nobody's ever done before, or even if you just do as good or better than the next person down the road, seeing that success that you can help somebody and you have a little small part in it. Nothing's better in life than that.
Okay. That's awesome.
I couldn't agree more. And you said it really well, man. Your heart is what a solutionary is all about, man. And I want to give a big cheers to that really quick. Cheers. Cheers to that, man. That's a great why to have, my friend. Salute. That's some good coffee right there. That brew is special, just like this guy's brew inside him is super special, man. Having that purpose does so much, and you said some really good things. If you put money first, then it's never going to come to you. But when you put people first, they're going to put you first too. Absolutely. And that's an exchange of collateral. That's an exchange of business. The way the world has always worked and how it works best. It's when it's just a one-way street, things could fall apart. But when it's a two-way street, man, things grow and they nurture and there's love involved, right? We believe in love, Lou. I know that you do, and I believe in love a ton. And having that, it is. But what I love also is when we can help others. When that's our driving force, it keeps us accountable because we have to be at a higher level of what we do. So we push ourselves by pushing others. So it's internal too. It's a beautiful thing. And I know that leads to so much growth in your life in automotive. And speaking of that, Lou.
Yeah, speaking of that, there's so much growth that all of us have inside of our lives and that make us gravitate to the things that we do, some of the work that we put our hands to. And inside of this show, we're very dedicated to being high quality vetters of the high quality individuals inside of the industry. But with that often comes a cool story or the path that got you there. So with that, Charles, what brought you to automotive?
Yeah. Another, great story. I've always had a passion for cars. That's, what kind of drove me into the automotive business to begin with. I grew up in that kind of fast and furious area, but to this day, I love muscle cars. I drive a BMW. I just had a Cadillac. I love it all. Just love four-wheel cars. And, as many car guys that got into the business, it got beat out of them. And for me, that never happened, thankfully. I'd moved to Louisville after being at Murray State, playing baseball there. And I'd done some, a lot of sales jobs, came from kind of a blue collar, family business, heating and air. Was in the mortgage business early, young. And that business got hit by the financial crisis, 07, 08. So I had to figure out a way to transition. And I had a lot of friends that transitioned from the mortgage business into the car dealership business. And so you'll love this. I walked right in Sam Swope BMW. I was driving an old BMW at the time. And
I got to interrupt you real fast,
Yeah.
just because I appreciate the Kentucky on you, because
BMW.
he's saying BMW. BMW. Okay. I love it. I love it. It's so Kentucky.
God.
It's classic
Yeah.
Kentucky right there. All right, back to BMW.
Yeah. So I pull in old
Where?
Sam Swope BMW. I'm in an 86 E33 series. And I think I'm hot shit. I've been
What's
a nice
car, bro?
Yeah, it was a beautiful car. Fun. Worth probably triple what I sold it for now.
Yeah, no kidding. It's truth.
But I walked in and said, hey, I drive BMW. I love the brand. Love to represent what you guys do. I know Swope is an incredible organization. I'd like to be your new finance manager. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, I've been doing mortgages for, 4 years now. It's infinitely more complex than a car deal. And like, yeah, but you need to learn the business. So next thing you know, I'm selling cars. My first full month in, I was salesman of the month. Really what it was is just hustle. I ran out and I caught every lot up. If that phone was ringing, I was quick draw McGraw and grabbing those phone
That's
up.
it, man.
And then even then, this was 2010. I was sending videos to clients all over the country, because BMW guys, they'll call and say, hey, you got that black saddle brown cold weather package, M Sport pack. I need that. I'm in Oregon. Not a problem, man. We can get this done. So I had a wonderful experience at Swope, transitioning from the mortgage into the automobile business. And I was doing finance in no time. And, with Swope, I got to see how 20 different OEMs worked. And I got to sell cars at all of them and work with all these just incredible individuals. And it gave me a perspective on the car business that, most people working at one or two stores would never be able to gain when working in a tight knit group like that.
Right.
So it got me, and I've never been able to really get out of the business. I had a couple little detours in the last, 15 years or so, but mostly my heart has always been automotive, and I think I'll always have something to do with it. I'll never retire. I'll own a little car lot. You retire and do nothing.
It is so hard to pull away, and
it's in my blood.
That's an incredible story. What's awesome is that all three of us came in by way of a Swope brand. You came in through the Sam Swope, right? Sam Swope crew. It's which was inside of Kentucky. Swope ran the world around these parts, and
they own that whole area over there.
Really led the way. One of the first Swope stores was here inside of Elizabethtown, and it was the dream of a couple of brothers to go do something in automotive, and it swelled up into this incredible organization that has connected so much of us. I remember doing a trip inside of a BMW, as I would say it, to your actual store. It was one of my earliest weeks in the business where it's like, here, grab this. We got to take it up to Louisville to be seen, right? To get it worked on. And I was like, okay, bet. It was. I didn't drive cool cars at the time. I was just coming into the business, and to jump in there, drop the top. Fred was behind me. It was, what is it? The little Z.
BMW Z4 or
Z3.
Z3.
It was a Z3. It was a convertible Z3,
and I was like, this is a rough ride.
It was
like, man,
rough.
this is not, but this stuff is fast. Wow. But I felt really cool. But there was difference going into that showroom than being inside of our store. Now, granted, we were at a Mitsubishi store and jumped into BMW, slightly different flow there, but it was awesome to know that, hey, we're connected somehow to this store. You know what I mean? All the way over here, we have business with this store. We have brothers at this store. To a young former soldier at the time, it was, we had other comrades, other units, right over there. And that's really cool. That's where you came in at. That's an awesome story. Way to get out there and hustle. do your thing.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. You just got even cooler. Shout out to all the Swope heads out there. We appreciate Swope being the door for many people in the blue.
Absolutely. You know, but this is what, again, I want to talk about how automotive can shift you in life, you know, because you started that way and look where you're at now. You left the retail market and you went into being a vendor, which is usually the dark side, right? But because of your why is why it's not the dark side, you know, because there's plenty of dealers, there's plenty of salespeople, there's plenty of customers that need a lot of help out there, and we can help by helping the people from the top funnel it down, right? And that's something that you saw, and I love that you're putting yourself out there, taking a risk, because a lot of car guys stay in dealerships or they quit the automotive industry because they think that's all they have. There's so much more. The skills we learn inside these stores, the skills we learn anywhere. Oh man. And here's the thing, we have so much rejection working at these dealerships, folks. If you learn to understand it, it's okay to be rejected. You can get into this industry and know that it's going to be okay. And you can keep moving forward too, because there's more rejection than this too. You have to talk to a lot of dealers. You have to talk to a lot of people. You have to talk to a lot of gatekeepers to even get to decision makers. You know the deal, right? So it's a lot of work. So there's a lot of things that get you there. But along the way, I know you have had people that have probably helped you, who've shown you some light, whether it's inside the dealership before you even got in automotive. I know you did some stuff in sales before, right? I looked up your history before we did the show, you know, and I was like,
took a look at your rep sheet,
you know, but that being said, you know, who have been some of the people, some of your mentors along the way that have really helped transform you into the person that you've become today?
Man, I've been very, very lucky in my life and fortunate to have incredible amounts of mentors in kind of every aspect of my life, from sports and school. First and foremost, my father is my best friend to this day. Shout out Tony Martin, AAA Heating there, Paducah.
All right.
You know, he is, you know, taught me everything and more that life's ever had to offer. You know, living with him and going to work with him and seeing how he's managed a 80-year-old family business, you know, has taught me all those soft skills that you could never learn in any aspect of life other than experience. Seeing how to manage people, manage clients, manage everything. That first and foremost kind of set the whole dynamic of my life, no doubt. But in my professional career, you know, starting out at Swope, you know, I didn't have tons of interaction with Sam. You know, that was a large organization, and you know, obviously. But you know, this quote's been thrown around a couple times here lately on some other podcast, and it's awesome that the legacy of Sam Swope is still living on. He liked to say, "If you're green, you're growing. If you're ripe, you're rotten." And that right there is just advice that will never, is just timeless advice. And you know, that enduring legacy of the people that I met there, and that the way they operated has really been impactful in my entire career. Two guys though, from the dealership world: Ron Abel, he's a V Auto manager, owns a little car dealership also out in Mount Washington. Still talk to him all the time. He's you know, amazing person. I can, you know, talk about ideals off and you know, he's a V Auto guy. So he's talking to dealers all around the country, just like I am. So great perspective on the business and what's going on and what's happening. Joel Jones, they were actually the GSM and the used car manager at BMW when I was there. Awesome. He's worked for several organizations, and he really specializes in selling and flipping and restoring classic cars. But he's got that great old school car guy perspective, and when it comes to used cars, he's a genius. You know, Kerry Donovan, it was Sam Swope. He was an incredible you know, mentor in my early days there. You like to call me Hollywood because my hair.
And you like to drive BMW.
Yeah. You know, and then I was actually just on the phone today with when I went over to the dark side. I worked for Gannett, Cars.com, and Local IQ Automotive, and I had a guy named Jeff Kersey. He'd never been in the side of the business, but he was a guy that helped launch Cars.com better back in the day, and you know, had a long history of seeing the digital transformation of automotive. And he was really what got me dialed in on the digital side, because man, it's a lot to learn. And he gave me the base of knowledge that I have now to be able to be successful and experiment and do all the cool things I do digitally. And then lastly, I'd say my current boss, her name's Shannon Willingham, regional director for L2T Media. She was just another another salesperson like me, and she's kind of like my big sister, and she got promoted. It's like, you got to be on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And, she really helps me with,
dope.
everything across the board, whether it's, I call and I'm upset because the company didn't want to do something and I'm fighting for my client, or it's just, hey, I got a client that wants to do this cool advertising campaign. Have you done one of these, this style, this right here? What could we do? And she's always got something to bring to the table and help out. So,
wow.
In life, I've just been very, very fortunate and blessed to have an incredible amount of mentors that have impacted me all the way across the board. So,
man,
it's
awesome. I love that. And I love that you were able to make that list out so easily. And why that's important to me to hear someone who can do that is because that means that you honor people. You understand the honor of what people have done for you. A lot of people don't even realize it until it's too late. Right. So it's dope that you recognize that now. So I hope that everyone who's watching, if you were one of those names, man, shout out to each one of you all. Speaking of one of those names to Lou and I, he just put a comment out. His name is Matt Damos. He's been a huge mentor to us. Success is neither magical or mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals.
Appreciate that, Matt. That's a Matt's
talk.
mentor moment right
Love
there.
That is a Matt's mentor moment right there. And it is, but you said something earlier. One of those quotes Sam Swope, I believe you said, was, if you're green, you're growing. Yeah. If you're ripe, you're rotting, right? Or rotten. To me, that's a very amazing thing to say. It's very fundamental and it's the truth. It makes me think of be a child. Like, I think of God right here, right? And I think that, we are always supposed to be that way. It's always be optimistic, looking up, having complete faith in what's getting ready to happen, being green all the time, being a child all the time, always knowing that there is always more to be and you could always be stronger. That's what's so dope about a quote like that.
I love that because it's that curiosity, childish curiosity and optimism. And that's carried me a long way in life.
Yes.
And it needs to keep being that way. So always be a child. And thank you, Matt, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because we're committed to being Toys R Us kids forever. And that's the heartbeat. Literally, the conversation with my wife this morning about are you always going to be the big kid? Are you always going to be so childlike? I was like, my absolute goal in life is to be known as being one of the most childlike people that a person knows. I want that to be said of me, because
in the best way possible.
That's where it's pure. I mean, Jesus spoke of it, was clear about it. Suffer not the little children, and if you cannot inherit the kingdom unless you come to me with the heart of a child, well, then we should all be going back to being a child. The children love to dance, they love to have a great time, but at young ages, no matter what, we need mentors.
Amen.
We have to have those mentors, and it's critical. Jesus had to have mentors to have the full human experience that can relate to us. He had to have mentors, and Joseph was an incredible mentor for him to be able to see and to be able to glean from and to be able to learn the disciplines of. And like you have with your dad, there's so much that didn't have to be said to you for you to learn it. You learned it by watching.
Yes.
You learned it by seeing. You learned it by actually experiencing life with him. And that is so huge, especially when you go through the harder moments, especially whether it's you fall down and you scrape the knee, you miss the ball, you strike out, whatever the things are that happen inside of life where you need those mentors to kind of cut on you, to bring that correction. Because a lot of times we're in vulnerable moments where the calamities happening, it's all falling apart, and we need encouragement, but at the same time we need, hey, you did this to yourself, you know how this happened, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we need that mentor, and only certain people in our lives can do that. But for you've had to use all of these different voices in your life to help you get through moments. So of all of those moments and good corrections, what would you say was probably the hardest lesson you had to learn?
Man, I've had some hard ones. I've had some hard ones, but I would say honestly, being in a sales oriented position for most of my adult life, money is not everything and time is everything. That has followed me through almost everything I've done. I was in the wireless business when I first moved to Louisville. I was on that wave. I mean, this is BlackBerry days. This is pre-iPhone.
BlackBerry days.
Yeah, I love the
BlackBerries.
But I
So
worked,
nice.
even at 21 years old, working till 10, 11 o'clock at night in the mall. I was like, this is, and I was making great money. It just wasn't worth it. And then the mortgage business, after it started tailing off, kind of felt the same way, and then even in my current life now, look, I love the car business. But the reason I transitioned to this side of the business was because I wanted that more time with my family. And I felt like I could create a better impact on those dealerships because I had such a good perspective and viewpoint on the business, and then learning this other skill set digitally. So learning that, just because you can make more money doing something, or you can chase the money on whatever it is, ultimately the time that you have with your friends, your family, and your true passions and hobbies in life over that little extra paycheck, or maybe even a bunch, no man dies and wished he worked more.
Right.
So
true.
Yeah, man.
That's been something that I've always tried to take to heart, because just because, another thing, going back to my father, just because you can do something don't mean you should. Maybe you should go pay somebody to do that and do what you do best, where you can maximize your amount of money and free time in life.
That's such a great lesson, and a hard one to learn.
Hard, yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a hard one to learn. We're still learning it.
Yeah, it's continuous.
You know what
Look,
Oh my gosh.
especially in our business and sales, it's always how much can I give to the client without breaking myself and my company, but and balance that out. We care, so that's what's going to always be that factor that's push you over time, but it all comes in there.
I agree with that, man. And showing that you care, being the person that cares over how much money you make,
Yes,
will in time pay you back dividends, right? It's
Absolutely.
called God math, and I love it, right? But it's beyond that. It's just a constant, like, it's not even the expectant of having something come back to you, and that's what's even more beautiful about the blessings that do come back to you, because it's like so unexpected. Oh man, life's been so blessing full for me over the last few years, and I could talk about a million different things and so many lessons that I've had to learn, brother. And it's good that you recognize those, and you keep learning from those, and you keep pushing from those and getting better from those. Yeah. And what comes from those is a lot of rewards, right? We tend to like get better because of lessons, and that's at least that's what you should be doing.
Yes.
Yeah, learning from your lessons is a principle that teaches you so much. And if you're not learning, or if you're not having any problems or having some of these hard lessons, then you're really not trying, right? And I want to make sure that we emphasize to you all is to keep trying. And if you do, you're going to have plenty of hard lessons to talk about. But the hardest lesson is the question, right? And I'm so glad you answered that. Let's get into your rewards though, man, because these rewards come from this. You've done all this hard work. You care about people. Your joy and why is to give back, right? Is to help others, is to make people happy, because you in turn makes you happy internally. And it also, of course, people don't care until they know you care. And I think that's a true statement. And then we talked about, what brought you in this industry, man. What a blessing that you got in here and you found a way to go, not just sell vehicles, but to become something more. But it wasn't selling the vehicles, it was the financing of the vehicles that got you in, right? I love that. Yeah. Finance though, what a headache of a job. Anyway, it's a good job though to learn.
Finance fun world.
Everybody's got to learn it, right? And it's a great thing to know and understand and have some empathy for.
And before you get to that question though, but you recognize it, I'm sure, and I'm sure some of you all though, but the importance of why that experience is important for that position, right? I mean, so many people do think that's we can jump in here and go for it. We have salespeople inside of the industry that are like, man, that's just such an easy cake job. Let me just go ahead and get up in there, right? They don't do nothing all day, right? Because they don't see the work that gets done, and when stepping in there, it's like one thing is like, oh my gosh, but did your experience give you an appreciation for, oh my gosh, I couldn't have just come in here and done this. That wouldn't have been right. Yeah,
there's a reason why finance managers or directors typically make as much, if not more, than GMs at dealerships.
Yeah, we do.
For one, worst case scenario, if anything happens, probably legality, it's going to happen to the finance manager because of paperwork, and that could even just be a snafu, nothing illegitimate. So one, you actually run the risk of getting in legal trouble because you're doing so much documents. The organization is incredible what you have to do, and depending on how much team effort you have behind you, stacking documents, making sure that stack that goes to First National Bank is different than the one that goes to U.S. Bank, that goes to the credit union, and this form for that bank, all that stuff really matters.
He's just scratching the surface, my friends.
Yeah,
there's so many levels to it, right? And I can tell you, I know firsthand, it's a lot of levels, and a lot of times a lesson I need to learn was to be able to allow others to help me, because a lot of times I didn't trust them. I knew how important each stack had to be, which each lender wanted to see, the order that you even put it in, and even maybe even writing down the name of the step on top, because some of these places don't know how to read, I feel. So
Yeah.
you got to be very, very careful and very precise so you can be able to speak to them when it was time to fund. So yeah, a lot of those lessons, and that is a great thing to learn. I know it taught me a lot, but it also helped me become very appreciative of every other position in the dealership too, and how, you know, and how much better I could have been if I put this same kind of energy in those things.
Yeah.
So it's a tough job, folks. But that being said, you know, we get to rewards, and we talked about a lot of amazing things today, but your reward, man, for you, what has been the greatest reward that you've had up to this point in your career, your life? You know, what do you think has been that thing?
You know, professionally, it's been those relationships that
bro.
have, you know, brought me, you know, the other success, whether it's referral business, you know, personal friendships, clients that just became close friends. I know that's how you guys operate a lot of the times, and you know, you see those true connections that you won't get a lot of other times in life, where you meet people all over the country that you'd never meet before. But I'd specifically call out, like many of us in the business. I met my wife in a car dealership, so she was a referral. Yeah,
Right.
so she was a referral from her brother that I knew, but I didn't know her. And
So you sold her a car?
oh yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So you get to say,
He closed her twice.
You get to say to your wife, baby, I've been car guying you since day one.
That's right.
Right? You get to say that. We get the whole, don't you car guy me. You get to say, that's the only way I've ever been with you. That's strong. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Oh, wow. Man, that's pretty cool, though. That's really cool.
That's a
Thank
really
you.
Have
cool
you had
story.
one of those yet?
You know, my wife, I met her at a business. I sold her a sandwich.
Yeah.
Closed her down from that.
Yeah.
She got extra lettuce, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I made sure she didn't get skimp on that mustard.
All right. Okay.
What happened to
Well,
the
you're
fun?
blue. I heard what you said. Right. I heard everything you just said. I love it. Yes.
Oh, man.
But she did. She sure did.
She's still coming back for more.
Oh, I was gonna say another thing, like Subway.
Yeah.
You got the foot long.
That's not what she said.
You know, but hey, but folks, enough about that. We are all, I think all three of us are very blessed to have amazing women by our sides. As a matter of fact, today my daily quote was about that. I love that because it is very important that we have those things. But yes, being car guys and being excellent at our jobs makes us even more fun with our wives, because they like don't play those games with us, but at the same time they wouldn't be with us.
They know
That's 100%.
Yes.
You know, but they wouldn't be with us if it wasn't for the fact that we are smooth operators, right?
That's right.
And that's what this business has brought us, is great opportunities to be better, confidence inside of every one of us.
Yes, it is, Matt.
It is. Except for that 2 seconds of, you know, or, you know.
Hey, my goal is to still gross out my kids, right?
That's 100%.
It's still to flirt enough.
Always going to be,
like,
man.
oh my gosh, gross.
Always going to be.
They're all grown.
But man,
But-
no, seriously, rewards are an amazing thing to talk about and to keep getting more of. We work extremely hard in this industry. We help a lot of people, and we should reap some rewards every once in a while, you know, but it's not about that. It's about the other things. And I love that about what you talked about today.
Yeah, it's bigger than business, everybody, and we want to continue to encourage you all with that. To recognize that the great thing that we have is the opportunity for today. We are so thankful for the chance to be able to connect and to be with people. Our heart goes out to those that are going through different things inside of their lives. People are dealing with loss. Our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers are with you as you continue to go through that. But be encouraged that today can be bright if you turn on your light, and if you let those that are here to ignite you and fuel you to be what it is that you're supposed to be, do that for you. So often we're closed off to people helping us. So often we're closed off to new ideas, new challenges. And so many times we're cut off from people correcting us. And it's so very important that we remain open to that we stay vulnerable in a way that keeps us getting better and refined in what we do. And the experience that you have becomes something that others can share and glean from. Folks, when we pulled up to be here at the studio, we're not able to have the normal meet and greet, the what's up, let's do that, because you're spending time mentoring somebody that's trying to go forward inside of their career. And that's honorable. And that's what we seek when we're talking about high quality individuals in the business that are moving the business forward. But you're side by side, shoulder to shoulder with other great people in the industry. Encourage them, give them a high five, give them a fist bump, give them some sort of encouragement that says that you see them and that you want to encourage them to keep being better, and watch how they grow.
Amen.
And enjoy how it is that you grow, just letting that come from you. We're so thankful for the people that have chimed in today. If you're watching this on the replay or you're watching this on the live, make sure that you give love to Charles. Show him that you appreciate what it is that he's talking about. But I'm sure plenty of you can relate to his story. I'm sure that plenty of you can be inspired and maybe have some similar pieces of that story to be able to lean into, to identify with, and actually continue writing out your story as well. And we can't wait to get you on the 5-liner. Folks, if there's somebody that you want to have on the show, drop a name. Go ahead. Let us know who you want to have on the show. We're excited about some of the people that are coming up soon to be. But today it has been an incredible blessing to be able to be right here in our home state.
I can't believe we had somebody in the studio, in the cafe.
With a true Kentucky BMW, folks. He says BMW. Awesome. It's been so awesome to be here with you, brother. Is there anything, I mean, some of that fist right there, but the importance of encouragement is critical. Anything else that you would like to say to bring some encouragement to the rest of our listeners out there, those that are watching, those that are laughing along?
Just keep pushing, you know.
Buddy.
Like he talked earlier, rejection in life, whether you're in sales or just anything, life is always full of challenges, and you know, failing is how you get better. Just to keep that tenacity, you know, in life, that's what's going to get you over the next hill. Because brother and sisters out there, there is no easy life. You know, every time you hit this level, you got to level up and keep leveling up.
That's right.
Nothing ever just gets to a calm period. There's always going to be something, obstacle, terrible thing that happens in your life. But how you get through that and how you learn from that, like you talked about earlier, that's how you, you know, get a true zest out of life to keep moving forward and do the best you can.
Amen to that.
Bro,
Amen to that.
Great words. Yeah. And man, so appreciative of you coming down. It was cool that we saw each other. Like, you know what? Why not just come to the studio? Let's do this. And he was like, let's go.
Even better.
So I invite others. If you're in the Kentucky area and you know it's going to be, give us a little bit of notice, and maybe we can schedule an appointment for you to come by the cafe and have a good time with us, have a cup of coffee and a conversation. Because that's what it's all about, man. These types of shows are special to have somebody here. I can't wait to get him on the thing to sign this thing. It's going to be cool. Yeah. But we appreciate you, man. We honor you. And I know Lou, man, we're building another studio over at Lou's spot, right? And I can't wait to see that get completed. And then when we do that, maybe we got some interviews over there one day when the grandbabies aren't sleeping.
Yeah. In between nap times, right? But folks, we are so thankful that you took the time to spend with us. But we want to make sure that you all are completely clear about our guest today hanging out inside of the cafe, because we are always serving up the highest quality of those that are inspiring this industry. But our friend Charles Martin is 100% CGC approved. That's right. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations.
You are official, bro.
We want to make sure that you all know what to do to be 100% CGC approved. Go ahead and share this around. Go to carguycoffee.com. Get you a cup of coffee. Get you a mug. Get you some swag. But share it. Share it. Get something to give somebody so that you can continue pushing out this message to forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing all the time, everybody.
That's right.
So let's go ahead and finish this show off. Forgive, focusing, and flying as we head out of here on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Fly and keep growing, keep growing.
Warrior is the car guy,
and I'm Fred, not subprime hero.
Optimus subprime. And you have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast, live at the Car Guy Cafe with the one, the only Charles Charles Martin. There he is, everybody. We will see you soon. See you at the next brew. We are out. Peace.